Welcome to Nerdities. Bitches.
No topic too absurd, no statement too asinine, no question too interesting. That's right, folks. It's a Nerdities interview show. It's been a little while. I, as ever, am Mike. That guy.
Here.
What do you?
I am Justin.
All right. The guy on the ones and zeros.
Joe.
That's right. That was a technical kind of.
Yeah.
Anyway,
binary.
Our guests tonight are the creators of. Wow, I should have committed this to memory, but I'm not good at this. Love letters, whoa, every day, and whoa, background noise comic. Is background noise comic or is that the imprint? You know, why don't I just hand it off to you guys? Tell us what you do.
So, Love Letters Every Day is a book. It's currently being launched on Kickstarter.
It's launched.
It is launched.
Kickstarter's live.
Kickstarter's live. It's a collection of the first year of our comics, which are called Background Noise Comics. So Background Noise Comics is the comics, and Love Letters Every Day is the book.
So folks couldn't tell from that interaction right there, you are a married couple, right?
We are a
couple.
Yes.
Okay. One correcting the other constantly. That's what I hear marriages are like.
Yes.
It seems like just kind of a day-to-day breakdown. Is it like kind of an American Splendor thing? You're taking moments from your life and throwing them in, or creating stuff whole cloth?
It's pretty much a diary comic, so everything comes out of our life. A lot of it is, most of it is slice of life. Although we have kind of geeky sci-fi tendencies, so sometimes the world gets a little bit wacky. Many things talk that can't talk in real life. That's just the way it works. The Roomba talks. The cat talks. The cat talks a lot. The cat's John's only friend, if you want to be honest. The yoga mat talks in the first book. My dead mother talks. Lots of things talk.
Yeah, we all love anthropomorphizing. That's. You go ahead, John.
I'm liking Joe's Cerritos background there.
Thank you.
In a recent episode, we said goodbye to Lower Decks.
Oh, yeah.
I was very sad to see it go. I really loved that show.
Yeah. We really love that show, too.
Yeah.
Such a good show.
I hope that we get a better long trek than we did with Section 31, and they give us, the continuing voyages of the Cerritos or something.
Yeah.
See who gets to be the first officer under ransom.
It could happen.
Joe is in his this is his heyday.
Yeah, he's so happy right now.
Our show.
I'm holding back because I'm trying to keep this about our comic, and I would love to dive into that.
Your comic does have a lot of Star Trek references. I am reading one that has some Doctor Who and some MCU in there.
Yeah.
Look at you rhyming, Joe. You guys are a writing team. Justin and I are a writing team. We have the luxury of not living with each other anymore. We were roommates for a while.
Yeah.
But we can break away. How challenging is it to write with your partner? That's your partner.
I mean, it's not really challenging at all. It's just very organic in our lives. Like, a lot of times we just spend our life kind of like living it, and then suddenly we're like, that's a comic. Or a lot of times we are busy with other things during the day, and then suddenly we're going to bed and we're like writing a comic in bed, which I know is not very sexy, perhaps, but it depends on who you are.
Depends on your kink.
A lot of people find it sexy.
We have learned the hard way that when you do that, you really need to either take a note or write it down, or else in the morning you don't remember it.
Yeah.
So that happened quite a lot, but mostly it's pretty good. I mean, obviously we, John always complains that I'm much meaner to him than I work as a creative director in my day job, and when I'm working with, people who are on my team, he's like, oh, you're so nice to them. Why can't you be nice to me?
This is really beautiful, but could we maybe try it a different way?
Yeah.
And with me, it's like, this is ugly, and you need to change this. I don't know how you're going to fix it, but you need to fix it.
Yeah, sometimes I'm just tired. Short hand.
Sounds like a love language.
Yes, it is a bit of a love language. And, we if you go back to sort of our inception story of how this comic really came to life, John just made it on a whim. He just threw it together, and people really liked it, and we liked doing it, and all of a sudden we were doing it, and we really did learn that in many ways using the comics became sort of a love language. It allowed us to say things to each other that we actually had never been able to say before. If you have a fight that happens over and over again, if anybody who's been in a relationship knows that there are some fights that just happen all the time, and
over and over again,
and you just can't get out of them. And in the first year, we actually did a comic about one of those fights, and it really changed our lives because we had never really thought about the other person's perspective. And when you're, doing something creative, I have to write copy that I have to write his dialogue, and he has to draw me, and we had to kind of really be in each other's lives in order for the art to be good. So it was kind of amazing.
You work in your bio. It says you work in the ad agency, in the ad industry. Is that still?
It is true. Yes.
Now, classically, that seems like kind of a stringent type of industry. Is this one of your big outlets for creativity, or does that job also allow a good creativity?
Well, I mean, it depends on your day. A lot of times when you're working, I'm a copywriter and John is an illustrator. So just so we get that straight.
Yeah, I'm not in advertising.
And he doesn't.
Yeah.
But sometimes I get to do fun projects, and sometimes I get to do a lot of not fun projects. But it uses a similar muscle. I won't lie. Not exactly the same, but it does. It's got a similar kind of tangential muscle to writing a comic as to writing an ad, for example, or writing a banner ad, or writing a short script. There's something very similar in it, especially the way that we do background noise comic, because there are 2 or 4 panels, sometimes 6 or 8. So you really have a very short palette. You have a very small amount of time. You have to get a lot of content in. And, you have the same constriction. With an ad, you need to make sure that somebody's going to get that message within, 3 seconds, for example, online. And with a comic, it's the same thing. You have to really hook them. So there are some things that are very similar. Obviously, there are a lot of things that are different. With the comic, we can say things that we want to say, not things that a brand wants us to say. There's a lot less restrictions. What was the question? Is my job fun? And I'm like,
basically answered it.
Rounded in case my boss sees this, My
It's a 9 to 5 soul
great. I love my job.
Way to cover all bases.
Fabulous things every day.
For John, I too am a visual. I'm an illustrator, and it's taken me a long time to figure out my cartoon style and make varieties of that. I'm looking at your style. I gotta ask, why no mouths?
Okay. It's answered in the book. There's a whole essay about it. However, spoiler, and we've talked about this in the comic.
We just leave it there if you want to give them more content. I don't have to push you on it.
No,
okay.
it's fine. It's fine. People, And the original comics were the 2 of us sitting on our couch, a different couch, with our laptops on our laps, working in front of the TV like we are doing every night in reality. And the comic was always going to be the same art. Just like if you've ever seen David Lynch's The Angriest Dog in the World, he always used the same art and just changed the dialogue. And that's originally what I wanted to do for this daily comic, to never change the art and always change the dialogue. And so I made like an artsy decision to leave off the mouths. So, we wouldn't have to change them. But then after a while, Lisa was like, well, my eyes are not expressing what I'm saying here. I'm supposed to be angry here. Change the eyes, okay? And then, we wanted to like wear a costume or be in a different place. And it just kind of expanded. But we kind of felt like the no mouths thing was part of the trademark. And also, like, style-wise, the book, if you look at our comics on Instagram right now, you might notice that there's a different style from the art that's going to be in the book to the art that exists now, because the style has evolved over time. Again, originally I made it to be simple and raw, and like I didn't want to be delicate about the line art, so I drew in Photoshop with the pencil tool, which is a very rough tool, just to force myself to not be all precious about line art. But then I got an iPad, and Procreate doesn't do chunky line. It does like beautiful line, and it just seduced me back into caring about the line art again. And so it has a slicker look now than the original comics.
Procreate really might be my favorite tool artistically in years. It feels like you're cutting corners and being cheap, but it's about immediacy sometimes. Like, I can just make a straight line now. I can make a circle now. This is revolutionary.
Yes. Yeah.
Joe, you want to go?
Yeah, I've been reading a bunch of your background noise comics, and they're hilarious.
Not a question, Joe.
And love letters every day. How many different stories do you have in there?
There's over 1,000 comics, literally over 1,000 comics. Yeah, it's crazy.
That is prolific.
That is awesome.
John, you have taught or are teaching at the Kubert School?
I taught there for almost 10 years, but it's been a couple of years now.
One of my great regrets in life, like we're from New Jersey, one of my great regrets is not going there. I should have gone there for my college. I never went to college, so
I feel the same way. Yeah. I have a degree in film.
Nothing.
But I thought you were nudging me. I thought it was like revealing something.
I was just looking at you. I was intently
Okay.
looking at you.
All right. But anyway, I have a degree in film, which is nice, I guess. But when I graduated and did not become the next Steven Spielberg plus George Lucas, which was my plan, I realized that what I really wanted to do was comics. I wanted to be able to do the costumes and the props and the sets and the special effects, and also I wanted to be a little more. I'm not a go out and gather a team person. I am a sit at my desk and try to do everything myself person.
I feel the independence. I'm with you there.
Yeah, so comics, worked out better for me. And I wish I went to the Kubert School for that. It would have been good for me too, yeah. I get that.
Comics is one of those, I've always wanted to, since I was a teen, I wanted to become a comics superstar. Because it's one of those, you can live your life normally and then go to a certain place and just get showered in accolades. Like, no one knows who Jim Lee is, even though he's running one of the biggest comic book companies in the world. But he goes to Comic-Con, he can't walk 2 feet. That's the kind of ego boost I always wanted.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, be nice, yeah.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but, we do it for the art.
Well, that was the ego boost I wanted as a little kid. Now I just want to make money doing it. And I just want people to leave me alone while I mess around on my iPad.
No, we hear you.
Do you have any conventions coming up?
We're just doing a small thing in New York City called Fanfare NYC. I don't know if you guys have heard about it. It's put on by the a high school in the city, but there's quite a lot of big people who go to it.
Yeah, it's built got an amazing roster of both famous parents and alumni. You talk and all.
Yeah, we normally go to San Diego. I'm not sure if we're going this year, and we normally do New York. We haven't really been. We normally go to whatever Comic-Con invites us to be on a panel, but now that we have a book, that might change. So we're figuring that out.
Yeah.
Really got to push it. We don't have much time left. We wanted to make sure you guys get all the plugs out there while John gets the exact date out. What are the socials?
Socials are Instagram. It's background_noise_comic. The Kickstarter is for Love Letters Every Day. I know. Don't shake your head. It's just it's a long story. We'll talk next time we see you in person. We'll explain
bad
it.
early marketing decision. Yeah.
I thought that was a she's getting it wrong head shake. That's
No.
That's me regretting something I didn't do right.
Yeah.
When we set up our Instagram. So and also we're going to be at the Fanfare NYC on April 5th and 6th, which is at the High.
Because of the end of civilization, the Clamp Cable Network now leaves the air. We hope you have enjoyed our programming, but more importantly, we hope you have enjoyed life.